All right, so you're about to take human anatomy and physiology. Before you even open the book, there's something you have to know, an unspoken rule that pretty much decides who passes and who doesn't. We're going to break down exactly why this class is such a tough gatekeeper, and more importantly, how you can be one of the people who makes it all the way through.
First things first, let's just look at the raw numbers. And look, this isn't to scare you, it's just a reality check. Nationally, about 1 out of every 3 students who starts AP1 does not finish with a passing grade. That's a 35% fail or withdrawal rate. And if you look at some specific places, like the community colleges in Texas here, that number gets even scarier.
Yeah, you're seeing that right. 50%. In some schools, it's literally a coin flip. Half the class that starts on day 1 is gone by the final exam. So you have to ask yourself, what is it about this course that makes it such a filter?
Well, the stark reality is that those numbers, that 50%, all comes down to one simple thing. Most students seriously, and I mean seriously, underestimate this course. They walk in thinking, oh, it's just another science class. But what they get is something completely different.
And that brings us to the real question, doesn't it? Why does this happen semester after semester to so many smart, capable students? How do they get so blindsided? Well, the answer has nothing to do with how smart you are. It has everything to do with a really fascinating psychological trap.
We can call this underestimation the confidence trap. And to really get it, we need to talk about a cognitive bias you may have heard of. It's called the Dunning-Kreuger effect. And believe me, it perfectly explains the emotional roller coaster that most A&P students find themselves on.
Okay, so what is it? Put simply, the Dunning-Kreuger effect is this weird quirk of the human brain where, when we're new to something, our confidence is incredibly high. Why? Because we literally don't know enough to see how much we don't know. The less you know, the more you think you know. It's a paradox.
So a lot of students start A&P right here, at what psychologists call the peak of overconfidence. Some people have a funnier name for it, Mount Stupid. You're thinking, hey, I took biology in high school. A cell is a cell. How hard can this be? Your confidence is through the roof because the sheer size of the mountain you're about to climb is totally invisible.
And then, wham, reality hits. The first exam, the first lab practical, the massive amount of new terminology, the insane complexity of it all, it just comes at you like a tidal wave. And that initial, fragile overconfidence completely shatters, and you plummet down into the valley of despair.
And this right here, this is the moment. This is where those statistics, that 35 to 50% actually come from. When you're in that valley, the task feels absolutely impossible. And the easiest, most tempting choice is to just give up and walk away. But here's the thing you have to understand. The valley is not a dead end. It's a fork in the road. And the choice you make when you're standing there is, without a doubt, the single most important decision you will make all semester long. Do you quit, or do you decide to start climbing?
This shows the two paths perfectly. See, in the valley of despair, your whole world is defined by what you don't know. It feels overwhelming. But for the people who decide to push through, a huge shift happens. They start the long, slow climb up what's called the slope of enlightenment. And on this path, confidence is rebuilt. But this time it's different. It's built on a foundation of what you actually know. It's real confidence. It's earned.
Okay, so how do you do it? How do you guarantee that you're going to be a climber? How do you get through that valley and onto the path to real mastery? Well, it's not some magic trick. It's all about having the right strategy and the right mindset from the very first day of class.
So let's make a deal. My job is to give you the map, to show you that the valley is coming so you're not surprised by it. But your job is to be the one walking the path. And that journey begins by respecting the challenge and taking this course seriously from day 1.
So what does taking it seriously even look like? It's really about 3 key things. First, you have to treat A&P like you're learning a foreign language. That's not a metaphor. You're learning hundreds of new words from Greek and Latin. You wouldn't try to learn Spanish by cramming the night before a test, right? No, you'd practice every day. Same thing here. Second, that means daily, consistent effort is absolutely non-negotiable. You can't cram for this. Every single topic builds on the last one. If your week 1 foundation is shaky, the whole thing comes tumbling down by week 3. And third, and this is probably the biggest one, you have to shift from just memorizing to actually applying the knowledge. It's one thing to memorize that the bicep flexes the elbow. It's another thing entirely to explain how that happens. The nerve signal, the calcium ions, the sliding filaments, that's the real goal.
And that, right there, is the secret. Success in this class is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about commitment. It's about who respects the climb, who shows up every single day, and who does the slow, steady work. That's how you get out of the valley of despair and end the semester on solid ground with that deep confidence that only comes from knowing you've truly mastered something. So you've seen the map of the journey now. You know about the peak of overconfidence, you know about the valley of despair, and you know about the long climb to enlightenment. So the only question left is, which path are you going to choose?